What's up, otakus? I'm dealing with some allergies right now, so I may just sneeze um yeah, I mean the weather's gotten really nice here where we are, but at the same time it's released all the tree seeds and whatnot. It's like just floating around and it's been rough for me. Eyes have been kind of itchy and again I'm just like got a lot of congestion and whatnot. All right, well, we're hopping on today. I missed doing things yesterday, um, so I haven't really been. I've been trying to be more consistent with the channel, but been failing at it. Um, but yeah, I just thought I'd hop on because I um, there have been some updates. Let's just put it that way. First, uh, my wife has finalized the departure date, and she is leaving at the end of this month. Specifically, she'll be leaving. Um, get the calendar up here. She'll be leaving on the 28th of June. What's up, fanboy? How you doing, man? Thanks for hanging out. Everything good? You at home or at work? But yeah, wife's leaving on the 28th. Okay, cool. And I don't think the books have arrived yet, but they should be coming this week, maybe, or soon. No, they said 10 days, so I don't know. I imagine it'll take maybe next week, or maybe it'll come over the weekend or something. Um, yeah, so that's good. That's good that you didn't buy anything. I've been struggling with that. Um, yeah, it's I'm having some dilemmas with just okay. So let's let's hone in here. Wife is leaving on the 23rd or 28th of June. So that will be officially kind of like uh, comic book. The official season will start. I know I'm saying in this video that the summer of Supergirl has officially started, and I kind of want to, you know, kind of want to, give credence to that notion. Um, we are just weeks away from the premiere of Supergirl. In fact, I think it's set to launch on the 25th, if I'm not mistaken. So the weekend my wife leaves will be the first kind of debut weekend of summer of Supergirl. Now, uh, I'll probably watch it the following weekend, and it's going to be really hard to just ignore everything, ignore all the noise, especially on my phone. That's the because I'm on my phone quite a bit. Um, that's good. Yeah, focus on the priorities. Be Yeah, don't get on IG, man. That's what I'm saying. Like I gotta stay off everything for a bit until I see the movie. I do want to see the movie in the theater. So I'll probably go watch it with Jens, we'll probably get tickets to go see that. Maybe we'll see. We'll it should be a fun time, and I'm fine with not watching it. Like watching a matinee as well. It doesn't have to be like in the evening. I know that feeling, man. I know that feeling of coming back for something, right? But that's good. Yeah. Um, so my wife and I were talking, and again, she's flying out. We got the dates all settled, and so we finally had the conversation. Hey, because I've been spending. It's like I've been spending, and I've been kind of spending recklessly, meaning I haven't been keeping track of. We'll get to that. Yeah. So again, I've been spending. Jens and I have been going out, and it's really I kind of blame him for taking me out, and I've been spending $20 here, $20 there per weekend. I also picked up some books, autographed books, um, off of eBay and whatnot. But anyway, we've been kind of spending over the past, I want to say ever since like I sent books to Roger, and Roger kind of graded well, not graded, worked on the books and improved the quality of the books. Ever since that exchange, kind of after that, Jens kind of hit me up and said, "Hey, you want to go hit comic book? You want to go like hunt for comic books?" And I was like, "Yes." And so that turned into like this weekly like excursion for us. And I ended up going to a comic show, which I hadn't planned on. And anyway, long story short, we we spent a good deal of money. Um, and I'm already out kind of like 240. So because I was like, how much am I gonna get for the summer? And she's like, gave me this whole like, kind of copies of the, what's come out of the checking account and all that. Like she gave me this whole rundown, like, well, you've already spent 248. But the beautiful thing about my beautiful wife is she was planning on giving me 500. Now this includes my birthday present, of course, like Father's Day, birthday, all that stuff. But she had already doled out about $500 for me to spend. And again, I've spent already half of it. Pretty much half of it. 200. No, it was like $242 I've spent, something like that. I have like $258 of credit for the summer, and that doesn't even count like the sale of a recent book. So with that sale, I've got an additional 95 plus some cash that I have. So all in all, we have about a little over 400. I want to say um, like close to $420 for the summer. That's not bad, because again, this is my wife, the budget my wife uh, doled out for me, and then again, I sold a book to Jens Collector Brain, um, and I got some money from that, and then I also sold some of my books on Facebook Marketplace recently. So again, I have some cash on hand plus the 258 or so that she had that she's generously gifted. So again, I have about 400 plus for the summer budget here. Um, and that's a very good sizable, that's kind of like what you want going into the summer, and kind of what would be good to, take to Portland, because we have really two kind of big plans, Jens and I've been planning the summer comic book excursion. We're going to avoid going to local stuff because we've hit it all. We're going to avoid going to local stuff. So first on the docket, I think we're going to probably go um, like mid July. Mid July, we're going to head to Portland. Okay. We're going to head to Portland. We're going to try to meet up with Damien. Now, Portland, interestingly enough, has a, a meetup this weekend. This weekend is like a trade, one of those trade meetups. It's really just local vendors selling to people like from their garage or whatever. But they're also promoting it like, if trade with other people that are coming, and is going to turn to kind of a community, like unofficial. There, you can basically trade on in the space. It would be great to go down this weekend and do that, because I think I could also take some books that I'm trying to sell, right? But unfortunately, I have yet to, I have yet begun to spend. That's a good one, Ron. Um, Unfortunately, yeah, this weekend's going to be busy with family stuff. Uh, I won't be able to break away and do anything this weekend. And pretty much next weekend too. For the next 2 weekends, it's going to be kind of family stuff as school winds down, and then it's the last week of school on the third week, so that'll be another busy week. And then yeah, um, the final weekend, I'll drop my wife off at the airport, so it'll be just busy, kind of preparing for her to leave and all that. So June's going to be a very packed and busy month, which is good. This will prevent me from really going anywhere and spending, pre-spending, or wasting some of the budget on um, needless stuff. Just right. Oh, Ron. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's right. Just, yeah. Use your grandson as a as a scapegoat. Just like, oh, he wanted all these books. I couldn't say no. Sure, she won't get mad at that. But all right. So we got 400 and change to spend. Now, I'm already I'm already running into a dilemma here. As you recall, my previous stream, I want to slab that book right there, and what that means is we're gonna. It's a vintage book, so that's about $40 to just grade. We also want to get a signature certification, so that's going to be an extra 30 or so bucks. So all in all, just to submit the book for vintage book for grade and certificate or signature certification, it's going to be $72.50. That's not including shipping there and shipping back. And if we add in the shipping, we're looking at $116.50. Okay, so this is our first kind of dilemma here. we're already, if we choose to go the, and now it's not urgent, I have time. I don't have to slab that book, but I do want to do it. And when you have money, that's kind of a good opportunity to just do it. So that's on the table right now. We could use a summer budget to just do that. Now, do I have to do that like right this instant? No, but we'll be mindful when we're out that we just don't want to blow our wad um, on like books per se, but be very selective, be very intentional to where we can pick up what we want and still have 116 uh $116.50 to slab that book. Okay, so that's one of the potential outcomes from this summer of Supergirl is to do that. Oh yeah. Okay, so Ron, what'd you pick up? Here we go. You got 3 posters from Dan Jurgens, which he signed. Okay. Awesome. 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 Dan Jurgens. Living legend, man. You gotta get the Jurgens. You gotta meet Jurgens. You gotta get a signature. You gotta talk. You gotta talk to him about the death of Superman. I mean, that is it was like the 90s. I mean, that's the pretty much the death of Superman was, people don't realize, like, you can talk all you want about like momentous uh you know we have a history right here, right? We have a rich history, comic book history here of things that happen, right? Whether it's an event in a book, whether it's like 8 point, 8.1 million in comic sales, which was a little inflated. Let's be honest here. Marvel just dropped a crap load of books onto the retail market, and just kind of fibbed the numbers, I think, which is fine. Um, but there's also, things like the crisis events. There's things like Secret Wars, the Black Suit. Uh, you know, obviously going back even further, first appearances like Ra's al Ghul, uh, the Joker's homicidal nature return and that Joker issue. There are a lot of things you can point to, like again, Silver Surfer, the whole Fantastic Four story arc, some of the memorable things there that happened, um, with character introductions, death of Gwen Stacy. That's a big one, right? There's all these like moments throughout history, and you can argue like, oh yeah, this was a very impactful moment. This was, but I don't think anybody could argue from a sales standpoint, from people coming out showing their support for buying an issue, right? Just the reaction and engagement upon the announcement of the death of Superman. Like how many people went out and bought a copy and continue to read and be like, I want to see how this thing ends. With relation to that, I don't think there's ever been uh, an event that's generated more PR, impacted impacted an entire crossover universe of content, right? Like when that happened, everything got impacted across all titles of DC. And if you look at all the events, nothing had that kind of like, like ripple effect. Um, I mean, the closest you could make argument you can make is Crisis, right? Like the Crisis on Infinite Earths that reset everything. That's pretty significant, but you know, it didn't. Crisis didn't have like the best um, comic book collector, engagement. It didn't have the best reaction. You were just kind of forced to accept this thing, and eventually it kind of like people read it. They read it. It just didn't get the best like reception right at the get go. You look at something like like the death of Robin. That's another one that just was very controversial because you're asking people to decide. It's a really sadistic kind of phone poll, but people had to call in and be like, I want Robin to die or I want Robin to live. And the fans voted for Robin to get killed by the Joker. Like, think about how sick that is. Like, that again, that generated a lot of PR too, but nothing on the scale of Superman's death. I mean, Superman's death it was like 6 o'clock news when that thing went out. Everybody was reporting on that, and people were coming out in droves buying the black poly bag and all that. So, Ron, yeah, I'm sure you talked to your grandson about who Dan Jurgens is and the importance of that man. But hopefully, Dan got to talk to you guys a little bit about all that, what happened in the '90s, and let's not forget that again. Like I said, there's nothing in comic book history that I think will ever match the magnitude of that moment and the ripple effects from that story. So Dan Jurgens was right at the heart of that. He's the one. He was in the room with all those other creators. They just like, why don't we off him? People are disrespecting him. We got to take him away, make people miss him, make people realize, hey, you got something special here, and you're taking him for granted, and we're still dealing with that today. But sort of less so because of James Gunn. All right, let's get into all the summer hoopla here. So again, slapping that book and one of the options on our table. That's great. That's great. I'm glad he got to talk about Superman on the panel. That's beautiful. Yeah, and Dan's you got to realize when Dan started that whole Death of Superman arc, he wasn't young, but he also wasn't like he was just kind of getting started in his career, right? He was kind of I want to say he was like in his like what late 20s, early 30s, somewhere around there. So fast forward to today, he's like an older gentleman now. He's um, definitely not like young, and just to have him come out and still be engaged with fans, that's just a good, again, um, wonderful, legendary figure in comic books, and we just got to find those opportunities to sit down, listen to what he says, or get a signature, um, get one of those personal anecdotes on the book. All right, glad you had a blast, Ron. He's already flying high in the Oklahoman sky here for the summer of Supergirl. All right. So we have one dilemma: where to distribute the dollars. Now we got another dilemma, okay? And this one is a real problematic one too. Um, there's a posting on eBay for a book, And I've taken a look at the pictures and all that, and I think it really is like it's a beautiful looking copy given my budget and what I could potentially spend on that book. I'm not gonna let you know what the book is, but just know that the guy came with me. The guy sent me an offer because I had basically, kind of liked the post, put it on my watch list, and an offer came in. Um, and it was a great offer. It was like a good enough to where I was like, maybe I should take it. Um, but I countered. So he came back. He came to me with an offer for 175 for this book, and I'll tell you all the details without giving the book away. It's a CGC slabbed 4.0 grade of a Silver Age Superman book, and it's a book I've been meaning to, like, since last year. I've been meaning to add this book, and it's really the top thing in on my wish list that I want to add. And so I'm still okay. So anyway, the offer came in 175. Again, details 4.0 CGC, graded, slabbed, Silver Age book. 175. Now there's $10 for shipping plus tax. So at 175, it's just over 200 bucks to get this book. I countered with 160, and that would put it well below 200, and that's kind of where I felt comfortable. I was just like, again, I have all these plans to go to Portland, to go to Canada. I kind of want a summer budget to be able to enjoy, have money. With when my wife's gone, I'm just going to be bored, right? And if I don't have any money to buy comics and all that, it's going to just be a pretty crappy summer. So part of me is just like, I just want money. Um, so the other option is just to sell a bunch of books to make up a shortfall, but we'll see. I have posted more books on Facebook Marketplace, so we're waiting to see if any of those pan out. Yeah. Oh, nice to know. Cool. Um, so yeah, he. So I sent a counter for 160, and then he countered with, "Hey Tyler, what's up? How you doing, man?" He countered with 170, and that's where we're at right now. I have 3 days. This offer's valid for 3 days. And there's always the risk of someone just coming in and buying it at full price, or I don't know. I don't know if once a if an offer is out on the table, I don't know what the I guess I could still lose out on it, or is it locked? No. I think people can just come in and swoop in and buy it, right? So I have 3 days to make a decision, um, whether to pull the trigger at 175 plus $10 shipping plus taxes. This would put me at like 198. I'm still under 200. Still under 200. And to be honest, for the price, I am still getting I'm not, let's just say I'm paying for what, I'm not getting a great deal at that price, because by my calculations in that grade, 175 is kind of what you would pay for that, in terms of the book value. Now, um, it is slab, so like in terms of like grading and slabbing all that, I don't have to do any of that. if I were to get a book raw, for example, and let's say I found the exact same book 4.0, and I got a good deal on it. Like, let's say I get it for $100. Um, I just told you, like, slabbing and shipping, it's like 40 plus almost an additional 40 for shipping. So it's like you're paying $80 just to get it slabbed. Um, which seems rather ridiculous to me. Um, and at that point, like $100 for a 4.0, no one's selling that book for $100. No way. I'd have to get a low grade, something probably closer to like 3.0 to just even be in the low hundreds. And then again, I'd be paying $80, and now I'd have a graded book that doesn't look as nice, and I'm paying about what I'm paying this guy right now. So I'm kind of leaning toward getting this book right now. I think I just talked myself into getting it because what it comes down to is, will I find this book graded at a better price? Or will I find this book raw? And I'm fine with a raw book at or below what we currently have. Like if I don't have to slab it or anything, but it's like a 5.0 or something, and it's like kind of under 200. That's the other more ideal scenario, like a better grade, maybe more. But this is one of those books. Like even if you go to the shows, people are going to be wanting, even with a raw copy, they're going to be wanting a lot for the book. It's not a book that pops up, regularly. So, good question, Tyler. It's a Silver Age Superman book, and it's slabbed in a 4.0 grade, and that's as much as I want to say right now. Because if I do get the book, I want to kind of unbox it and reveal it to you guys. Um, but yeah, it's a book I've been meaning. It's like at the top of my wish list. So if you watched any of my previous wish list videos, um, it's one of those Silver Age Superman. I mean, I've got a lot of Silver Age Superman books that I'm like, this is on my wish list. But this one in particular, I've been hunting since last summer, and I watched a bunch of people in my sphere, the collectors that in my on my algorithm, I guess. I saw a couple of them pick this up last year, and I was just like, oh, but they overpaid. Last year was like peak price for this book, and I'm just thinking of one person in particular. I know what she paid for the book and the grade, and I'm telling you right now, if I were to go and buy that exact same book, I'm probably getting it for like almost 150, maybe almost $200 less than what she paid. So I mean, it was a peak book last summer. It's dropped off a bit. I think it will pick back up a little bit with the summer Superman stuff as we head toward the Man of Tomorrow and everything again. But as of now, it's kind of come back down a little bit. So with that being said, I think I just got to get this book. I just got to get it because I'll regret it if I come out of the summer this summer and I had the money and budget, I had the offer in front of me, and I don't find it in Portland or I don't find it in Vancouver. Um, I'll be devastated. I'll just be like, yeah, it'll just stay with me. So while I have the opportunity, you're watching me do it live right here. Um, I'm gonna do it. Just gonna buy it. Yeah. I love this book. Gotta get it. All right. So I'm going to accept this offer. No, he said final offer. He put final offer. So if I send him another offer, he's not going to accept it. I'm going to lose it. So order total with tax and everything is going to be 199.30. And again, I'm overpaying a little bit from what I think is the value of this book. I think it's 175 to be honest. Um, but I look at it as if I were to get the book raw in this grade and slab it myself, it would cost more. So this guy is actually probably, I mean, he's probably not taking a loss in the sense that maybe got the book and slabbed it at a time when it wasn't as exorbitant as it is now. But boom, we just bought it. There you go. We're done. This book is coming our way. I'm just going to send him a message for just thanking him for the book. And first purchase of the summer. Thanks, Tyler. Yes, it is a great book. It is a great book. And again, I think it's the best right now of all the listings. And I've gone through all the listings. Um, and this is the grade I'm comfortable with because obviously there's higher grades I could have pursued for more money. But yeah, I think given my budget, my summer budget, which is now just been reduced to nearly half, over half. No, yeah, nearly half. But I got yeah. Thanks, Jens. I had to get it, man. There's just too many variables. Um, Even if I were to run it into it in Vancouver, um, even if it was a graded copy, uh, the question of I mean that's the only scenario. If I ran into a 4.0 CTC graded copy, and let's say they had somehow priced it in Canadian dollars, something equivalent to this, maybe even a little higher. With a Canadian discount, yes, I would have gotten a better deal. I would have secured it probably at a lower price, and it may have had better eye appeal. Those are a lot of ifs, though. And I was telling you, as great as Canada is for comic books and whatnot, collectibles, they don't have the best Silver Age older stuff they don't have the older stuff inventory. It's not as good in Canada. You have a lot of great sort of modern, more bronze to modern stuff, but some of the older collectibles, it's few and far between. Now they do have Silver Age, they do have older books, but it's not as prevalent as the US shows, So that's something to keep in mind. And again, should we run into it, it's not going to bug me, I got a great deal. Well, I got a good deal um, with what, you know, again, eBay is really sort of my only resource. So out of all the listings here on eBay, this really was sort of the best deal. And the guy came down quite a bit, and I'm getting it just under 200 um, for a book that's kind of hit sort of a lull. We'll see if it picks back up here. But yeah, um, the book should be arriving soon. So with that being said, um, how do I message this guy? Let me see here. Here we go. All right. No, this is it. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm just gonna message him real quick. That's strange. They're not giving me the option to message this guy. Hmm. Hmm. All right, let me. There we go. That's weird. It's like, I guess we never message each other about the book. We just. Oh, here we go. No, that's not it. I guess I gotta go to the purchases and then message the guy. Hmm. It's not giving an option to message him. That's weird. Let me see here if I go into the see original listing, message seller. Oh, he doesn't have it to where. Oh, contact seller. Here we go. Okay. All right. Hey, thanks for the book. I It's a personal favorite. When do you expect to ship? Thanks again. All right. So that's that, man. $200 out the door. $200 come back. All right. Now, I just posted some big books up for sale. So doesn't mean that we've killed the summer budget. I put up some slabs up on my Facebook marketplace, and we'll see if those move. We'll see if those move. I think um, those are big books too. So I kind of put it kind of high, expecting people to kind of maybe send me. Oh crap! Someone just listed a heat press for $50 on Facebook Marketplace. Am I now getting a heat press? Uh, it's new with all the accessories. It has a code E1 code. I don't know what that means, dude. It looks nice. It's a clamshell. I don't know. Should I get this? Should I get this for $50? Start pressing. He's in Port Orchard. That's way far. Port Orchard. It's like on the peninsula, isn't it? Where's Port Orchard again? Yeah, I have to take the ferry or something. I'm gonna picking that up. Just getting there will cost more with gas and all that. So no, we're not going to Port Orchard to pick up a heat press, but it's pretty good. Yeah. No, it'll get here. I would imagine it's gonna get here in about a week. I would imagine. It's $10. It's a $10 shipping charge, so probably use some kind of maybe USPS. Yeah, maybe we'll be getting here. I hope this is my. If it were to come down, come, because that's always the thing you got to do with slabs. You got to really protect the book. Use the proper, you know, where you're creating. Um, it's not moving around. It's basically secure. The box is securing it, but you're also filling enough sort of cushiony material to keep the book stable and it doesn't move around. So it's really hard to ship out a slab book because you really need kind of to wrap it, do the proper things, put it in a very secure, sturdy box. Um, all those things need to be done. So I'm assuming this guy. This is the thing. Like he's a seller, but he's a eBay seller, and just looking at his his store name is called graphic_goods, and what it looks like, he's selling nothing but comic books, and some like comic cards. So what it looks like is either he used to have a comic book shop, or he bought somebody's collection, but he doesn't have a lot of stuff uploaded. And he's only sold 7 items. So that's weird. I hope I didn't get scammed or anything. He's got just weird listings. You got like golden age horror intermixed with like worthless like 90s books, children like Goosebumps. He's got a lot of like Goosebump, like children's novel type books. I mean, it looks legit, and he's got cards up for sale. It looks like legitimate in terms of. Again, he has sold 7 items, so let's not be too skeptical here. He's got a whole run of like the Spectre for $40, like a 23 book lot of the Spectre for $40. That's a pretty. If you're into Spectre, man, you should buy from this guy. That's a pretty good deal. 23 book lot of the Spectre. He's got some Scooby Doo. It's just a weird, like again, it's like I don't think this is his own collection, but maybe he's just putting up bits and pieces of a collection he picked up. Someone used the pool noodle to keep it in place. Oh man. Oh, was it good? It was secure. As long as it works. It's sometimes it's not about whatever works. I've had people like reinforce an envelope with like enough. They encased it enough, like those free USPS envelopes. They encased it so well and like taped it up and all that and then put it in an envelope. So when it came in an envelope, I'm like, oh man, who puts a book in an envelope? But they had put so much reinforced USPS envelopes around it to where you couldn't, unless you like actually like really put a lot of force, couldn't bend the book. So functionally, it was as good as anything. They just, it's just like they worked with what they had, and again, if you're taking the time to do it right, um, whatever works, yeah. But don't just don't just wrap it in like one layer of bubble wrap and you know ship that out in like a bag or something. No, no, no. That's gonna damage the book. So anyway, I'm just gonna assume let's take a look at his reviews. Got to look at the reviews here. Feedback. So he's had 7 sales. Mine is the 7th. It looks like. So all 6 have been positive in the past 2 months or past 12 months. And feedback here. We got all 6 here. Item shipped quickly and is as described. Excellent. That's good. Fast shipping. All arrived safely. Thank you. That's good. Great seller. Would buy from again. Order delivered on time with no issue. Order delivered on time with no issues. Thanks. Good purchase. A plus 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 plus. Okay. So everything. Most of these are verified purchases. So not a lot of data there, but what we do have is legit. So let's just hope he's responsive and then we get the book sooner rather than later. All right. We'll unbox that when it gets here. Okay, we'll unbox it. Don't, I'll make an announcement. Hey, uh, Silver Age slab unboxing. Okay, we'll just put it that way. Silver Age slab unboxing. Okay. So now I'm down to 200 and change for the summer. 200 and change for the summer. So I've got to really clamp down on pickups until. So Jens and I are planning to go to Portland. And because my wife is departing on the last weekend of the 28th of June, Jens, we're gonna have to like plan something after the 4th of July weekend. So I'm thinking maybe the weekend after we could go down to Portland, and then we're also gonna hit up this show in Vancouver. And this show really is, I think, I don't know about Jens. I think Jens is just like fine to pick up stuff in Portland and this show. But for me, because I have a little bit more of a limited budget, my focus is going to be here at this event. And yeah, it's kind of like an old school show in the sense that there's a lot of vendors, wall books, bargain bins, things priced out. You can negotiate. All the vendors there expect you to negotiate. It's like they have stuff priced out really competitively, but also if you buy more books or whatnot, and you can even negotiate on one book, as long as it's like a bigger book, right? So yeah, if I can take 200 going into this show, I feel like we'll come out of it with a lot of value. I just got to remind myself to not overreach the budget. it's really, and I'm hoping I can sell some books here in the interim, right? I just put some stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I can sell that stuff, move that stuff. We'll have a little bit more to work with. But for now, again, I'm limited to 200, and this is really the book, or this is the show we're trying to target. Um, so that is that. Let me. What is it? My mouse want to cooperate with me here? There we go. Um, Next, what I want to do is I want to just kind of celebrate the summer of Supergirl. You know, we got a lot of stuff announced recently with in relation to the upcoming movie and um, some of the stuff in the pipeline. So let's start with some big announcements here by James Gunn. They released some footage from the Man of Tomorrow, like Superman's new suit. But one image in particular, they released sort of like a, I guess a marketing image of Nicholas Holt, who's plays Luthor, in the war suit, Luthor's war suit, and it looks good. I mean, it looks pretty. It looks like a very sturdy, um, formidable suit, and it's got the green. It's got the green tone to it, metallic green tone to it. Um, it does. It looks. It doesn't look like this suit, but again, it's sort of a more modern take on this concept and design. So it all in all, it works really well. And I think they're not going to use this origin. They're using the modern origin of the suit, which is, this one's kind of out there in terms of how Lex develops the suit and whatnot. Um, and then it is coupled with the Brainiac evolution as well of his look and design. He's kind of made more. He used to have this humanoid, kind of fully transform him from more humanoid to more machine like, and that also sticks. That's another design point that sticks because of this book moving forward. And now I think Brainiac's his iterations have made him really kind of more of a kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a more fearful type character. It's he's definitely kind of got this menacing kind of look to him, whereas like the traditional Silver Age Brainiac, he's just like some alien looking dude, right? Like a humanoid, but like the present day, uh, I guess, visualization of Brainiac is more kind of like this monstrosity kind of machine, and um, yeah, like a machine that's very smart but kind of soulless and cold and kind of you know um, a machine wouldn't have any compassion, so could be very cruel and kind of yeah. Anyway, you guys kind of get what I'm getting at. All right, so yeah, just kind of rejoicing in that fact that I picked this up without any inclination of like, are they gonna? It was always sort of a question mark, like, will they bring this Luther suit at any point? Will they do this? When I picked this up, it was kind of like this was just a cool pickup because it was like the first appearance of his suit, and then fast forward 3 years later, and we're getting the suit. That's pretty freaking amazing to me. Um, that we're doing that. All right. From here on out, we're just gonna celebrate the summer of Supergirl, and it's been a long time coming for me, um, because you know when they announced the Superman movie, I think it was pretty early on. They also announced the Supergirl movie. It was like one of the earlier kind of confirmed IPs that they were doing. And when they announced Superman, everything was so focused around Superman. They had talked Teen Titans. They had talked Brave and the Bold. They even hyped up the Authority, which they canceled. But there were a bunch of things kind of out in the ether that they had put out. And again, Supergirl was kind of there in the mix from the beginning. But it was kind of like everybody was wanting to see the Superman movie, so it's kind of they were fixated on that, and not so much the stuff that was to follow. And that obviously we took the same focus. We're just so focused on like, well, will Superman be good? I hope they don't mess it up and all this. And it was great. And then as soon as that movie ended, which was last summer, all the attention and the focus back. Okay, what's coming up next? And it's Supergirl, and then you kind of like were able to over this past year we're able to kind of like savor um, all the little trailers and tidbits that they had um, kind of revealed. And I have to say, I think as much as I look forward to watching Superman in the theaters, I it took me a while before I was like, oh, I think this is going to be really good. It kind of it didn't sink into me that Superman would be good until I mean, I really didn't know if it would be good, but I had this sense that listening to Gunn in his interviews and how he's talking about the character and seeing Corn Sweat, kind of seeing him do all the I couldn't really tell until there was that um, it was a trailer or a teaser or something where Superman and Lois are having the dialogue about she's interviewing him, and then they're showing kind of sort of showing the scenes from the movie as they're talking about this event that was happening. And I think it was at that point I was like, I thought it would be really good. It was at that point where they show Lois and Clark's relationship within the context of like this interview, right? They're friends and colleagues. They're seeing each other. They're romantically involved. But here they kind of flip the switch. Superman, Lois interview. It's a very different tone from the previous like Christopher Reeve movie, but in its essence the same. There's an interview. These characters are dramatically involved in this scene. It's a very intense scene, right? In the Reeve movie, the scene was just like she was just enamored. It was a love kind of scene. Here, we're getting um, a very sort of confrontational type conversation. But yeah, it was just brilliantly performed and acted in that scene. And it was just like a tidbit. It wasn't even the whole thing. It was just like a tidbit, but it was just like, oh yeah, yeah. This has all the little. It has the all the beginnings of what a great scene or movie should have. And yeah, once little details like that started coming out, I was kind of more confident it would be really good. Supergirl's a little different though, because again, I've read the comic book. It's a great comic book. I wouldn't say it's like Tom King's great. You just gotta again. I think Tom King's style actually would work well in movies, and I've been saying this at the beginning. I think he is, without it being marketed as such. I think he is an advisor to James Gunn on the movies. I think Gunn's gonna draw a lot from his style of comic book writing as sort of a template for what he wants to draw from the comic books and the kind of tone he wants to use in his movies. And this is where I think, yeah, like Supergirl, he's gonna do that with the Tom King book. He's gonna like kind of take the essence of like the dialogue and other things that are going on, but completely like make it as you know, make it as more theatrical and action packed and Hollywood. You know, just putting all the Hollywood elements into this as much as he can. And in that sense, I think Supergirl, and again, we haven't seen a lot revealed around Supergirl, just a couple, you know, like monologue type conversations, some action scenes. Those scenes with Lobo have been really good, uh, really positive, I think. But I think it's going to be really good. I think Supergirl has more potential to like bring in people based off like, oh wow, I had a blast, I had a great time watching Supergirl. You know, just from the organic uh, positive reaction and feedback. You know, because a lot of movies is just word of mouth, right? Once you can get out to like word week 3, like go see it, it's good. Kind of word of mouth gets out. Um, I anticipate Supergirl will be a big hit, but there's a caveat to this. I also think right now people are very mindful of what they're spending. And I think from a movie perspective, if you were maybe in previous summers, like just watching everything every week that came out, or watching, you know, maybe five to six movies during the summer, I think that's going to get pared down like quite a bit. I think overall box office numbers are just going to shrink this summer. I think people are just going to be a little bit more selective about what they go to see in the theaters. And given all that, I mean, you just saw this weekend or the past 2 weekends, people did not pack theaters for Mandalorian Grogu. I think part of it is maybe the movie just, the marketing, the movie just didn't resonate. But I think also the other part of it is like economics, right? It's just people, families, and whatnot. School's still not out, right? It just no one had the motivation to take their kids to go see what is like traditionally a strong kind of movie IP, Star Wars. Hey, what's up, W Vogs? Welcome. Thanks for hanging out, man. So yeah, let's get to some more Supergirl books. Here's a great Action Comics cover again, 80-page board game cover of kind of chronicling her, you know, her origin stories or stories that have been published. Here's a great uh, Super Baby cover album, Super Baby album. Um, Beautiful Kurt Swan cover here. We've got another fantastic Swan cover here. Super Baby again. Uh, Supergirl at the orphanage here. Very confused. What's going on? This is the creepy book. This is the book where like Superman's kind of he's resisting the temptation to essentially like hook up with the cousin, man. He's like, hey man, I want to get with you, but you're my cousin. I'm just really trying not to do. And she's kind of like, well, what's going on? She's innocent. He's kind of being this creepy, you know, incestuous cousin there. And then of course he hooks up with someone who just looks exactly like her but older. So kind of weird. When I was at Heroes Con last year, I picked up World's Finest third appearance of Barbara Gordon. Ooh, with first team up Supergirl. Hey, oh yeah, I have that one. I want to somewhere over there. That's a good book, man. Is it high grade? Did you pick it up in what grade was it? Graded copy? I have a raw copy, but that one in like a high grade copy would be fabulous. All right, we got some Bronze Age, Medusa, Supergirl right there. Beautiful Bob Oxner cover. We picked this up for like a buck. I kid you not. It was like sitting in there for like $2 or something. It was like under $2, like $1.50 over in. I was in New York State at the time. It's got this beautiful date stamp as well. Love those. But yeah, 10 center. There are issues with the book, but for a buck, who gives a damn, man? That's beautiful eye appeal. For what is otherwise a low grade book, but that's the first Superboy, Supergirl, boy meets girl issue. All right, and then of course we picked this up recently. Amazing Adam Hughes cover here, signed by the man. We're wishing Adam a quick recovery and full recovery from his battle with cancer, which I'm confident he'll overcome. And then last but not least, we're just celebrate good times. Come on, it's the summer Supergirl. We've already picked up a big book. We got some exciting plans coming up with shows and whatnot. It's going to be a fun. We're going to watch the movie at some point. It's just going to be a fun summer of Supergirl. Nice W Boggs. North Carolina. Go Tar Heels. Or Duke. No, Duke is what? Yeah. You guys are. It's either Duke or North Carolina. I would assume. No, I'm not going to assume. Maybe you're a Duke guy. But yeah, Heroes. That's a popular one. We have yet to go to Heroes, but someday, somehow we'll get there. But that is it. That's kind of just what I want to talk about. It's the summer of Supergirl. The summer's officially kind of started for me. I just made my big first summer purchase. We got $200 left. I got stuff I want to sell, and we'll be taking up trade books to Vancouver as well. See if we can pick up some stuff with some trade value. I don't mind giving up some value there to trade some of the stuff I have. So it all just kind of we got options. There's a lot of options there. So it should be a fun time. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll unbox the book when it gets here, probably next week. And Jens and I will probably go on this Friday just to kind of chat about all this stuff here that is coming out in relation to the Superman movie and the Supergirl movie and the Lanterns, all this stuff. There's a lot of cool Absolute Batman stuff in the mix as well. Go check out Jens's video. He put out a great top 5 uh, absolute titles or absolute books that he recommends or targets. And yeah, there's DC just announced uh, Absolute Catwoman is going to get her own title. So they're really just introducing all the absolutes. You could have Absolute Plastic Man soon, just plugging away at people. Uh, you know, some. Who's another character you'd want to see? Oh, Absolute Crypto, man. You can't. A dark, like rabid, insane Cujo, like Cujo meets, you know, like Absolute Cujo, maybe something like that. That would be insane. But yeah, a lot of things going on there. But thanks for joining, guys. See you here on Friday, and enjoy hunting the summer, man. Enjoy the summer, Supergirl. Keep it real. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.